Hi students, welcome back. Now let's go through the remaining portions of the chapter. Archaeologists also look for bones of animals, birds and fish to find out what people ate in the past. Plant remains survive far more rarely. If seeds of grain or pieces of wood have been burnt, they survive in a charred form. Do you think cloth is found frequently by archaeologists? So, apart from these buildings, paintings, sculptures and tools, archaeologists also look for bones of animals, birds and fish to find out what people ate in the past. Rarely only they have identified about the plants. Archaeologists can find out the seed of grain or pieces of the wood. If they have been burnt, they will be present in charred form. So in this way only archaeologists can identify about plants. Historians, that is scholars who study the past, often use the word source to refer to the information found from manuscripts, inscriptions and archaeology. Once sources are found, learning about the past becomes an adventure as we reconstruct it bit by bit. So historians and archaeologists are like detectives who use all these sources like clues to find out about our past. Next, let's discuss about historians. They are scholars who study the past. They use the information from manuscripts, inscriptions and archaeology. They refer the information as sources. Without these sources, it will be very difficult for them to learn about the past. So these historians and archaeologists are just like detectives. One past of many. Did you notice the title of this book? Our past. We have used the word past in plural to draw attention to the fact that the past was different for different groups of people. For example, the lives of herders or farmers were different from those of kings and queens. The lives of merchants were different from those of craft persons and so on. Also, as it is true even today, people follow different practices and customs in different parts of the country. For example, today most people living in the Andaman Islands get their own food by fishing, hunting and collecting forest produce. By contrast, most people living in cities depend on others for supplies of food. Differences such as these existed in past as well. The past itself differs to different group of people. For example, the life of farmers and herders will be different to that of kings and queens. And similarly, the life of merchants will be different from that of craft persons. There were different practices and customs throughout the country. It's different. This difference is seen nowadays also, isn't it? The life of people in Andaman Islands will be different from that of people living in cities, isn't it? So, like this, such differences were also present in the past. Besides, there is another kind of difference. We know a great deal about kings and the battles they fought because they kept records of their victories. Generally, ordinary people such as hunters, fishing folk, gatherers, farmers or herders did not keep records of what they did. While archaeology helps us to find out about their lives, there is much that remains unknown. So, the life of kings and their kingdoms, the battles were all known to us, isn't it? This is because the kings recorded their victories. But this has not been happened in the case of people who lived an ordinary life, as that of fishermen, hunters, farmers, herders, etc. Thus, the information regarding such people remains unknown. What do dates mean? If somebody asks you the date, you will probably mention the day, month and year, 2000 and something. These years are counted from the date generally assigned to the birth of Jesus Christ, the founder of Christianity. So 2000 means 2000 years after the birth of Christ. All dates before the birth of Christ are counted backwards and usually have the letters BC, before Christ, added on. In this book, we will refer to dates going back from the present using 2000 as our starting point. We have counted the dates from the birth of Jesus Christ, who is the founder of Christianity. So, we record the dates in AD and BC. The dates before the birth of Christ are counted backwards, and they are usually represented by the letters BC, which means before Christ. Okay, for example, BC 2000. Have you heard that? Yes. Similarly, AD means Anno Domini, which means in the year of Lord. Letters with dates. BC, we have seen, stands for before Christ. You will sometimes find AD before dates. This stands for two Latin words Anno Domini, meaning in the year of the Lord. So 2012 can be also written as AD 2012. Sometimes CE is used instead of AD and BCE instead of BC. The letter CE stands for Common Era and BCE for Before Common Era. We use these terms because the Christian era is now used in most countries of the world. In India, we began using this form of dating from about 200 years ago, and sometimes the letters BP, meaning before present, are used. So, these are the various letters that we are using along with the dates, as we have seen BC, that means that stands for before Christ. Okay, and similarly we are using AD, as I have told you, it's Anno Domini, which means in the year of the Lord. Okay, so this is BC and AD. And similarly CE, that stands for Common Era, is used instead of AD, and also BCE instead of BC. BCE stands for Before Common Era. Okay, so these are the letters which we are used along with the dates. BC and AD, and also CE and BCE. So we have completed the chapter. It's such a simple chapter. Just you have to read it for 5 times, and then already I have given you some important questions, isn't it? So just study that also. Okay, so this is such a simple chapter. Now let's go through the exercises. Let's recall. First one, match the following. Narmada Valley to hunting and gathering. Okay, so match Narmada Valley with hunting and gathering. Next one, Magadha. Yes, we know that it is the first big kingdom. So match it up with the first big kingdom. Next one, Garo Hills to the early agriculture. So it's a place where agriculture has been started, isn't it? So Garo Hills to early agriculture. Indus and its tributaries to the first cities. Okay, match it up with the first cities. Ganga Valley, the cities about 2500 years ago. So match it up with cities about 2500 years ago. Okay, the second question is, list one major difference between manuscripts and inscriptions. Manuscripts are the old books that give handwritten accounts, whereas inscriptions are engraved form of writings used for various purposes. Okay, and the second point is, manuscripts, these were written on leaves and barks of the trees. Inscriptions, these were written on the hard surfaces, for example stones. So these are the major difference between manuscripts and inscriptions. Let's discuss. The third question is, return to Rashida's question. Can you think of some answers to it? So there we were confused from where we will get all these information about past, isn't it? So from where do we get these informations? From manuscripts, inscriptions, old objects recovered from excavations, isn't it? Fourth question, make a list of all the objects that archaeologists may find. Which of these could be made of stone? So, the objects that archaeologists may find out. So, what are they? Yes, bones, coins, ornaments, pans, pots, inscriptions, old manuscripts, remainings of buildings, tools, weapons, etc. Isn't it? So many things are there. Okay. Which of these could be made of stone? surfaces used for writing inscriptions. Yes, that will be made up of stone. Then the remainings of building and also objects like tools, weapons, etc. So these all will be made of stone. Fifth question, why do you think ordinary men and women did not generally keep records of what they did? Ordinary men and women did not feel the need of recording what they did, isn't it? They did not feel the need of recording what they did. Also, they lacked proper writing methods. So, because of these two reasons, ordinary men and women did not kept any records about them. Sixth one, describe at least two ways in which you think the lives of kings would have been different from those of farmers. The lives of kings would have been different from those of farmers in some ways, like the first point is the kings set up large kingdoms, whereas the farmer's life was not like theirs. Isn't it? The first point is the kings set up large kingdoms, whereas the farmer's life was not like theirs. Second point, the farmers did not keep records of what they did, whereas the kings kept records of their battles and their victories. So this is the second point. The farmers did not keep records of what they did, whereas the kings kept records of their battles and victories. Okay, I hope you all have understood the chapter. So you all have to do is read the chapter 5 times, and along with that study the question answers that I have given you. And also you should study these exercises that we have worked it out now, isn't it? So it's such a simple chapter. Just read it and understand it and study what I have given you. Okay, thank you.